The gut microbiome has emerged as a central player in metabolic health, and its role in sugar-linked liver disease is both profound and often underappreciated. While much attention has focused on direct effects of sugar or artificial sweeteners on the liver, the impact of these compounds on gut bacteria represents an indirect but highly consequential pathway toward non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. The human gut harbors trillions of microbes that regulate digestion, nutrient absorption, immune function, and inflammatory signaling. A balanced microbiome supports metabolic homeostasis, while disruption, known as dysbiosis, can trigger systemic changes that stress the liver and promote fat accumulation. Both sugary drinks and artificially sweetened beverages have been shown to disturb gut microbiota composition. Excess sugar provides a rapid substrate for certain bacteria, favoring the growth of species associated with inflammation and metabolic imbalance, while suppressing beneficial microbes that produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, such as butyrate, which help maintain gut barrier integrity. Artificial sweeteners, despite being calorie-free, can induce similar dysbiosis by altering microbial diversity and metabolic activity. When the gut microbiota is imbalanced, intestinal permeability increases, creating what is often referred to as a leaky gut. This allows bacterial endotoxins, particularly lipopolysaccharides, LPS, to enter the bloodstream and reach the liver. Once in the liver, these endotoxins activate immune cells and trigger inflammatory signaling pathways, contributing to hepatic stress and fat accumulation. This process is particularly insidious because it occurs without immediate symptoms, allowing damage to progress silently over months or years. Chronic exposure to endotoxins and persistent low-grade inflammation accelerates insulin resistance, disrupts lipid metabolism, and fosters the development of NAFLD. Over time, this can escalate into non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, NASH, a more severe inflammatory form of fatty liver disease that carries increased risk of fibrosis, cirrhosis, and long-term liver dysfunction. The consequences of microbiome disruption are compounded when sugary and diet drinks are consumed alongside other processed foods. The combination of refined sugars, high-fructose corn syrup, artificial sweeteners, emulsifiers, and trans fats amplifies gut dysbiosis, further weakening the intestinal barrier and exacerbating hepatic inflammation. Even individuals who avoid excessive caloric intake may be vulnerable because the liver responds not only to calories, but to the inflammatory and metabolic signals originating from the gut. This illustrates why zero-calorie diet beverages are not metabolically neutral. They can still indirectly drive liver fat accumulation via gut-mediated mechanisms. The effects of gut-mediated liver stress are particularly concerning for adolescents and young adults, whose microbiomes are still maturing and more sensitive to environmental and dietary disturbances. Early life exposure to high-sugar and artificially sweetened drinks may establish a gut microbial profile that predisposes individuals to metabolic dysfunction later in life, creating a silent but persistent risk for NAFLD and related conditions. In adults, chronic dysbiosis contributes to systemic inflammation, metabolic syndrome, and increased vulnerability to other chronic diseases, highlighting the far-reaching consequences of gut-liver interactions. Protecting the gut microbiome is therefore a crucial, yet often overlooked, strategy for liver health. Limiting sugary and artificially sweetened beverages is essential, as is consuming fiber-rich whole foods that nourish beneficial microbes, such as vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut can help restore microbial balance and support gut barrier integrity. Adequate hydration with water or herbal teas, regular physical activity, and avoiding unnecessary antibiotics or medications that disrupt gut bacteria further protect the microbiome and reduce liver stress. In summary, the gut microbiome serves as a critical mediator between diet and liver health. Sugary and diet drinks, despite their apparent differences in calories, both disturb gut microbial balance, increase intestinal permeability, and trigger inflammatory pathways that promote hepatic fat accumulation and NAFLD. This indirect mechanism is powerful because it operates silently, often without obvious symptoms until liver damage becomes detectable. For those seeking to protect long-term liver function, maintaining a healthy gut microbiome through dietary choices and lifestyle habits is as important as reducing sugar intake itself, as the interplay between gut bacteria and liver metabolism is a central, yet frequently overlooked, determinant of metabolic health.